I said I wanted peace. So why did I keep choosing chaos? And I didn't even realize I was doing it. As soon as things got calm, I'd get restless, like something was missing. But I couldn't even say what. So I'd start poking at things. I'd start questioning things that didn't need to be questioned, creating problems that weren't even there. And soon enough, I'm back in chaos again. And I've done that more times than I'd care to admit. So for years, I'd told myself, I just want a calm life. I just want something steady, something grounded, something that didn't feel like it could fall apart at any moment. And yet, every time life actually became that, I'd start to feel off and immediately find ways to sabotage the peace, like something was missing. Because there'd be no drama, there'd be no crisis, there'd be no emotional roller coaster. Everything was fine. Yet somehow, that was the problem, the lack of it. So I'd start creating it. I'd start the loop again. Even if things were running smoothly, I'd find a way to be dissatisfied. And of course, it wouldn't take long before I'd find myself right back into that cauldron of chaos. And for a long time, I'd blame everything outside of me. I'd blame the people. They're the wrong people, wrong partner. I'd blame the timing, bad timing. I'd blame whatever. I'd blame life. But at some point, you have to be honest with yourself. Because if the same feeling keeps showing up in different forms, it's not coincidence. It's a pattern. And that was so uncomfortable to come face to face with. Because it meant that I wasn't just someone who experienced chaos. I was someone who kept choosing it. Maybe not consciously, but definitely consistently. And when I really sat with that, I had to ask myself a question. Why? Why would I say I want peace and then keep walking myself back into chaos? It could be that I was just addicted to it, or that I didn't know any better. But when I dug deeper, I realized that peace doesn't feel like peace to me. Peace felt empty, too quiet, too still, too alien for me. There was no adrenaline in it. There was no emotional charge. There's nothing pulling at my attention. And when you've spent years living in that level of intensity, that kind of calm can feel like nothing. And nothing is uncomfortable. So you end up going back to what makes you feel something, even if it costs you, even if it drains you, even if deep down you already know how it's going to end. because it feels familiar. At least it feels like something you recognize. Anything but nothing. And boy, was that a wake-up call. Realizing that I wasn't reacting to life. I was responding to what was familiar in my body. I was conditioned. I was conditioned to equate intensity with connection. I was conditioned to feel more alive in unpredictability rather than in stability. And to trust what felt familiar even when it wasn't good for me. And once you see it, you can't really unsee it. Thank God for that. Once the shift happens, you start catching yourself in the act. Like when things are actually okay, and you go looking for a problem. When life is steady and you feel the urge to shake things up, mess things up. When nothing is wrong but doesn't feel right, that's where most people screw up. Because they trust the feeling. If it doesn't feel right, it must not be right. But that's not true. You're just not used to things being okay. What if peace feels boring just because your system is used to chaos? That was literally a mic drop moment for me. So how do I tackle things now? Now I don't react straight away. Like whenever I feel the pull, right there, I pause and I just don't follow it straight away anymore. I have learned to sit in the discomfort a little longer. I don't go rushing to fill the silence or the void. I've learned to let things be, even when they don't give me that emotional hit. And slowly you'll notice how your baseline starts to change. What used to feel empty starts to actually feel peaceful. What once felt boring starts to feel stable. What once felt alien starts to feel safe. But let's just backtrack a bit to that middle phase, that space where you're not in chaos anymore, but peace still doesn't feel natural, that no man's land. Because it's a rather tricky, uncomfortable, in-between place where most people bail. I've been there. Some days, I still am. So I'm not sitting here pretending that I've mastered this. I haven't. But I see it now, a lot clearer. So when that pull towards chaos shows up, I slow down and I ask myself, do I actually want this? Or does it just feel like home? And that question alone has stopped me from repeating the same cycle more times than I can count. So if you recognize yourself in this, if you say you want peace, but keep ending up in the same patterns, maybe it's not that you don't want peace. Maybe it's that peace doesn't feel familiar yet. And maybe the real work is learning how to stay in something that no longer feels like chaos, even when it's uncomfortable, especially then. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time.